Hello everyone, it's Diane. I went to the Monday morning flea market today, brought home a few things, so I'm just going to show them to you quickly. I'll start with these two boxes. These were $2 a box, and I'm not really sure what I want to do with them. It's just music, choir music, and so this box is full of all the same little booklets. So I'll probably be putting these in kits. I have started to sort things and starting to get ready to put together some journal kits. So some of these will make it into them. This is March 1966, and this is the same thing except it's January 1966. So it has different music in it. From the guy that has the blue van, he's now my favorite guy because I've told you before that he just puts stuff out in cardboard boxes and people paw through it and pick out what they want. He always gives a really low price. He just goes and cleans out estates and stuff that goes to auctions and just brings stuff home and brings it home in boxes and then just puts it out and lets people take what they want. He's very casual about it. So I had this whole stack here and he gave it to me for $5. So I got a probe game. I'm debating on whether I want to just keep this and play it with if my kids would play it with me. It's dated 1964. It does look like it's old. This is yellowed. I used to play this with my aunt and my grandmother, and some of my siblings, I think, played when we had family gatherings. So, and I always liked the game. So I don't know. I did buy a game of this a few years ago at Salvation Army, and I just used the cards as letters, you know, letter cards. But I don't know. I bought it for the cards, but if my kids would play it with me, maybe I'd play it, but they probably won't. It was part of this $5 package, which was awesome because it's a vintage pattern and it's in good shape. I don't even think it's cut. No, it's not cut. So it's in excellent shape, and it's 1971. So something like this would go for close to $5 all on its own usually. And I picked up this book, Living All Your Life, The Searles Readers, and I thought this was a really good title for a journal. I told myself I don't need any more books to make journals out of, but that title was perfect. It's got stories and pictures in it. I was happy to find these. They did not come in a binder. They were just loose in the box, but I grabbed them. They're gardening cards that go in binders, but they flip open. And there's, I don't know how many, but there's quite a few there. So I'm definitely going to use them in gardening journals. And then I got this. I didn't even undo it and see exactly what's in it yet, but I like this ruffled doilies one at the top. These are all vintage needlecraft books. So my mother used to do tatting. So there's this is a book of ruffled doilies, and I like the pictures. The oval ruffled doily, the tailored ruffled doily. Look at those, aren't they pretty? Look at that, with the ruffle around the edge. I don't know if my mom ever made ruffled ones, but she did a lot of doilies. This is 1952, and it's falling apart. This goes to something else because this one has a date of 1948 on it. Handkerchief edgings. Oh, there it is. Handkerchief edgings. So that's 1948. This one is needlecraft. This one looks a little newer. Looks like maybe the 70s. But it has cool pictures. I remember my mother getting patterns like these for doing capes, crocheted capes for my sisters. I guess I did have one too, but these pictures look familiar. This is from Grit Needlecraft. There used to be a newspaper called the Grit newspaper, and it was a really fun newspaper, but this must have been from them. It had color pictures and it had stories. It wasn't your typical newspaper. So this is fun. I'll have to show this to my mother. Oh, look at that bodysuit, a crocheted bodysuit. Aw, these are adorable. So this one's fun. I like that. This one is a quilt book. I never did find the date on that one. I forgot I was looking for it. I don't see a date on this one, but look at those interesting pages. Yeah, I don't see a date, but I really like this. Cool. Laces and edgings. Have to go a little faster. This one is just a folded up sheet of instructions. This one's falling apart. Maybe it was just torn out of a magazine. It was, because I made that pillow. 1978. Oh goodness. My son was born in 1978. And I made that pillow. I had this Family Circle, June of 1978. And I made this pillow. And I made that pillow, just different colors. And I made that pillow. I loved that rainbow. So I made mine as close to that in color as I could. That is awesome. I think I have to keep this one. I'll put this in my domestic arts journal. This is also from Family Circle of 1979. It's for that crocheted Afghan. Handkerchief edgings. Wow, look at that. Oh, aren't they beautiful? 1951. Really pretty. Look at those. There was a box, a little box there with folded up handkerchiefs with these pretty crocheted edgings. But it was pricey for somebody who would just want to cut them up. Very nice. Book of crocheted edges and corners. That's cool. Ruffled doilies again. Interesting. This might be from that one that fell apart from the 40s. Lingerie touches. Here, and towel edgings. Guest or bath towels. Edgings. 100 old and new favorites. 10 cents for this book in 1945. Edgings for handkerchiefs. Fall apart. It fell apart. A baby book. I may have picked this up at a flea market last year. Same book, maybe not. Doreen baby book. The new baby book for knitting and crochet. Isn't that sweet? That baby face. Edgings. New handkerchief edgings from DMC Cottons. This one's gorgeous. Jack Frost handbags. Look at the ladies. So lovely. And woolies for babies. So all of that from the probe game to this pile of books was $5. I picked this up think this is homemade, but it would be for Christmas journals. And it's patchwork. I wanted some patchwork pieces. This, I love this box. It's $5 for a 1920s sewing class, it says. Look at that emblem on there. And inside, this was for the sewing teacher. Spiral composition book. And it says up here, lesson number 1, plain seam. 6 and 8 basting, staying seams at each end. Study of effect of tension, upper heavy and upper light. And here is a sample. So that's interesting. And there's another one here. Seam on wool using silk thread, size 14 needle and number 12 stitch. Some light cotton. Seam stitched on fine cotton. There's a piece of gingham just in there. And then it gets a little more intricate in the things. There's a collar point. Curved edges. More curved edges. Outside curves. The other one was an inner curve. This one is crossed seams, so it's intersected seams. Press open. This one has pleating. I love to pleat. I used to. When I used to sew, I liked doing pleats because these are pin tucks. Another piece of vintage fabric here. And in this really vintage large wax bag is this Trimtex bias tape, 5 yards. This one has some really, it's kind of like smocking up here. Maybe it is smocking. Very fine piece of fabric. Shirring with gathering foot, it says over here. So that's fun. And then in the box are some more of the pieces that she had done demonstrations on. These are pieces that she cut off. Here's some written, probably notes for her, the teacher. This is lessons. So she wrote notes on this. Some more pieces of fabric. This is a piece of embroidery that wasn't finished. Vintage fabric here with seam binding on the edge, or bias tape on the edge. Smart Fashion Stitches by Singer. Let's see how old this book is. 1952. An empty bag. This one has some embroidery on it. Have to iron it. Some pin tuck and lace. This one has smocking. Here's a metal embroidery hoop, which is going to leave a nasty mark if I can get it off. Piece of corduroy. This one has a needle stuck in it, but it has the bias tape on the edge. I think it was just people practicing sewing this on because it's just a scrap of fabric. There's another piece of it. This is gathered up fabric. These will be fun in domestic arts journals, won't they? All these pieces. Very nice. More written notes. Look how pretty this is. It's got gathers down here and pleats up here. I hope this isn't boring. I'm having fun looking at all this stuff. Another pin tuck. More bias tape. Inset lace. That was a good lesson. Student lesson number 4 in Singer sewing skills. So that was in that box. Now it makes me want to get back to making some domestic arts journals, which I will, but I have other things to do first. I didn't open this except to put these beads in. She had a box of beads. You had beads and pins and things you had to kind of just sort through, and they were 10 for $1. So I did pick up 10 pieces. Just these pretty hearts. They feel like glass. These beads are glass. And I'm gonna break them. This one's really pretty. Oh, there it goes. And then these two are flat pleat pieces that I can just glue on. Probably on a cover. So I just stuck them in that this bag for safekeeping. Whoops. There's another piece. If you were counting, you must have only counted 9, because here's the 10th one. It's a butterfly. This says 4 yards of hand crochet trim, all good. Vintage. Oh, it's wide. 4 yards? Wow. That's cool. That is really neat. Wonder what I'll do with it. And then lastly, I got this pile of linens. She had them marked high, and I was going to just pass them by, but then she said that she's moving, and so she's just trying to sell things. So she gave this whole pile to me at a really good price. So I got some yellow pieces here. 1, 2, 3 rectangular pieces. This one. When I say she had them priced high, I don't think that they're priced higher than they're worth, but they're higher than I would pay for what I do with them. This one was $5. It's a long piece. It's only got embroidery on one end, but it's nice fabric. When I press it, it'll be very crisp and very nice. It's pretty. This one was marked 2. These are quality pieces. This one was 5. I didn't pay that much for all of these. Aren't they pretty? I love those vibrant colors. I'd like to know how old all this stuff is. This one was marked 2. It's got some markings on it. This one was only $1.50. And it actually has 4 corners of embroidery. This one was 5. It does have some staining on it too. This one's pretty. $3 she had on this one. This one she had marked $8, but I love this pink, and I love the pink crocheted corners. I think only 2 corners, no, 4 corners are crocheted. So it's quite a big piece, so there's a lot of pink fabric. Linen or luncheon tablecloth. Oh my goodness, and it's got this crochet with blanket stitching all the way around. That is nice. $8 she had it marked for. This one was $4. How pretty. So delicate. And I think this is a German piece. And not exactly sure what I'll do with it because it's got a big design on it. But she said, as she was looking through what I had, it's got snaps on there to put the pillow in and then snap it. She said, that German piece is a nice one. Oh my goodness, she has it marked for 20. So I told her, I picked out the pieces that I liked. I didn't see the price on this one. And I said, okay, I only have $20 in my wallet left, because she was the last one I went to. And I know that this is worth more than $20, so just tell me what you can do with $20 here. So I thought she'd, select a few and let me have them for 20, but she was looking at them all and trying to add it up and everything, and finally she just said, you can have the whole pile for 20. She had this marked for 20 and this for 8, but I got it all for 20, so that was a good deal. That's all that I have. So I'll get this video up so you can watch it, and then I'm going to get to work. Oh, I wanted to show you one more thing. When I did my little Happy Mail the other day, I forgot to include this. This was from Renee at GT Designs. She has heard me talk about owls, and I'm going to do an owl book eventually. So she sent me this little page from an owl book, looks like a field guide, and these 4 little playing cards with owls. Wasn't that sweet of her? So thank you very much, Renee. I can't wait to include these in my owl book. Oh, and I thought there was more. These 2 circles cut from children's books too. This reminds me of a Bambi book. I'm not sure if that's what it is. Oh yeah, look, there's this little Bambi foot. So these are great and I love them. Thank you, Renee. All right, thanks so much for watching. Tomorrow I'm going to be going to some secondhand stores with my friend, stores I've never been to. I'm going to meet her and then we're going to go to her neck of the woods. And she wants to show me a couple secondhand stores. There's some flea market stores there too, but they're closed on Monday and Tuesday, and those were the only days that we were both available. So we're just going to go to some secondhand stores. So maybe I'll be back to show you something tomorrow. But anyway, you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.